Here's the standard email client on both devices. You can see I've got a Gmail account configured here, just so I can show you what it looks like in the two different orientations. You lose the split screen view when you're in portrait mode. You have pinch stretch zooming here in this email client. You do not have that in the standard Gmail client. And you have support for multiple email accounts as well. We'll jump back to Gmail through the main menu. You can see it has quite a similar look, although the fonts are a little bit different. Here's the same message we just looked at. You see you get the threaded view in Gmail. That's one of the things you don't get if you're using the standard email client. You do get good HTML email support though in the standard email client. And again, that ability to zoom comes in handy at times. Here you can see the virtual keyboard. Works pretty well. It's fairly simple. Perhaps a little hard to type with just thumbs on the 10.2 in landscape mode, although the 8.2 being much smaller is quite easy, quite thumbable from both orientations. Just send off those messages. Here you can see a notification just came in. Contact photo shown right next to it. I can tap on the notice in the notification area to read it again, and I can potentially close it out, or I can also tap here to see a full list of all notifications. You can individually clear any notification you want, but there's no ability to clear all of them at once like you see on a smartphone. You've seen me make use of the home button quite often, probably the back button as well that sits next to it. What I haven't touched upon yet is the multitasking button. That allows me to quickly switch between applications. For example, I can jump into Evernote here, and you can take a look at the Evernote notes I have here. This one is called Food. It's just how I remember certain products that I like or dislike. You can easily view some photos that have been uploaded as well, and you sort by tags, by notebook name, and just look at all your notes in general. It works really well on this tablet. Here's the web browser running on the two devices. I'm going to tap through to the full version of the site on the 8.2 so as you can compare with the 10.1. Both devices will run in either landscape or portrait orientation, but the configuration of the webcam and where the power buttons are and stuff totally suggests that you should be using this one in portrait mode most of the time and this one in landscape mode. Either way, they have the same capabilities when it comes to the browser. You have multiple tabs up here for switching between web pages, and it works quite well. You can double tap to zoom, pinch stretch zooming as well. Add a new tab with the plus button, and you can get to your bookmarks right here. Not using Wi-Fi at all. I'm actually using the 4G LTE data connection because it's been so blazingly fast I haven't been bothered with setting up the Wi-Fi connection. You see we've got flash support on pages, the animated advertisements running everywhere. Dual-core 1.2 GHz processor seems to do pretty well, although there's lag still seen in web pages when there's heavy flash integration. I want to demonstrate the camera. You focus by holding down the shutter button, release to take the photo. It's a 5 megapixel rear-facing camera. Autofocus, as you just can tell. Records 720p video. The interesting thing is that the forward-facing camera, which is 1.3 megapixel in resolution, can also record 720p video. So here's a quick test, and you might note that the red privacy light is on there. It's indicating that the forward-facing camera is at work. And I'll tap through and you can see it. And while the forward-facing camera lacks autofocus, the fact that it records 720p resolution is still pretty decent. And you might note that the red privacy light is on there. It's indicating that the forward-facing camera is at work. As with any Android Honeycomb device, you have home screen widgets that can be resized to the user's liking. Just grab an edge, stretch it out, tap on the screen when you're done. This widget also offers scrolling, which is great for things like email inboxes as well. Here's the music player on Android Honeycomb, which is integrated with Google's cloud-based Google Music service. You can see a pretty cool 3D carousel view of album art. And of course you have music controls in the notification area. About the only fault I can find in the hardware on either of the XYBOARD devices is the banding in dark areas of the display that you see on the XYBOARD 8.2. I'm going to zoom in here and you should be able to get a relatively clear look at the banding, the horizontal banding going across in strips here. It's not evident at all in brightly colored areas, but in semi-dark areas it's pretty obvious. To give you a comparison, this is the 10.1 inch display on the larger XYBOARD running the same live wallpaper. Now again, there is slight banding on here, but it is far less obvious in actual day-to-day viewing. So that's my look at the Motorola DROID XYBOARD 8.2 and 10.1, a pair of Android Honeycomb 3.2 devices for Verizon Wireless. They both offer great 4G LTE data speeds and come with a really nice hardware build. Apart from some mild banding on the display, I really like the hardware that's gone into these devices. Software, Honeycomb has its pitfalls. It doesn't matter what device is running it, and the DROID XYBOARDs are no exception there. But they do perform pretty well. About the only device that can really overpower the DROID XYBOARDs is probably the Asus Transformer Prime with its NVIDIA Tegra 3 quad-core processor. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the devices. They're probably priced a little bit high, right up there with Apple's iPad, at least for the 10.1 inch model. You can get both devices from Verizon Wireless starting on December 20th. The 8.2 inch model is available in 16 gig and 32 gig versions. Prices start at $429.99. The larger 10.1 is available in 16, 32, and 64 gig versions, and prices start at $529.99. For MobileBurn.com, I'm Michael Orrell. Thanks for watching.